So, for the last time this season, how's this week been?
Relaxed, different, but busy in terms of, I guess, my role and conversations with the sort of senior members of staff at the football club, the chairman. But all on the backdrop of being very happy in terms of securing his safety last weekend, and made the week a lot more comfortable, a lot more enjoyable than perhaps it could have been, especially with 2 awards evenings as well. It was nice to sort of enjoy them and the fans to come and have a chat and meet the players, etc. So a much better week than perhaps it could have been.
I think it's 3 months tomorrow since you came back. It feels like it's not been that long when you look at it like that, but
no.
It must feel like it's been a bit longer. But how's it been? How have you found it?
Oh look, it's been challenging. There's no getting away from that. But when you come into a job, as I said, I came in with my eyes open. It was always going to be tough, and that's not trying to sort of pat myself on the back or anything in we achieved the goal of staying up, but I think we were in a relegation fight, and I don't think anyone would, certainly speaking to people now when it's a lot easier the conversations, I think everyone thought that and was concerned. So to get over the line and got a game spare is good. In the main though, I've just loved being back, getting to meet some new faces, new people, but also picking up on a few relationships that I had here previously. So of course that's always enjoyable.
Going into this Saturday, obviously you're safe. Kind of what's the feeling like going into the final game? Like
I said, it is more relaxed. I'm not going to deny that. At the same time, still got a job to do, and I still want to win the game, and I'm hoping that'll be the message to the players. And when they go out on the pitch, I think I've played football on a Friday night that's supposed to be fun, and when I get there, I kind of do enjoy it, but I also want to win. And I'm hoping that the players have that feeling. Once that whistle goes, you don't want to be embarrassed. You want to try and get the better of your opponents. So that's the mindset. But as I said, it is on the backdrop of being. It could have been tomorrow. Everyone really nervous. Playing under massive pressure, but that's been removed. Now it's about a bit of pride and trying to finish the season off on a high.
You spoke before about kind of contract talks and waiting to know what league and everything.
Yeah.
Has that ramped up now since last Saturday?
Yeah, that's on with sort of thing. Obviously once that's all been taken place, then we'll let people know in terms of what kind of my thoughts are and then what the players' thoughts are, because it's not always one way. I have decisions in terms of some players, and some players it'll be in their hands what they want to do. That's always the case, but it's not. That's probably part of the job that's not nice when you're certainly giving bad news out, but it is part of the job, unfortunately. What I would say is, the group overall have worked hard. They've tried to take on board what we've asked, and at times have certainly done that. And I think they've sort of enjoyed it since we came in. A lot of them have spoke, well about that, and the feeling around the place certainly. So that's a real positive for me, and I haven't got anything bad to say about any of the players. You sometimes go somewhere and you have, you've had afraid bad eggs and things like that. We haven't got that here, and I'm not just saying that. We haven't had that. I haven't had to deal with that. So that's been a relief. Hopefully, there's an element of how the players feel they've been treated under us that helps, avoid that type of situation as well.
So the retain list usually comes out kind of the week after the season finishes. How close are you to finalising kind of what you want for the end of the season and players staying or leaving? Yeah,
pretty close. I think you all shouldn't have to wait too long after the end of the season to find out the plans. Again, then there'll be some situations that we have to wait on, of course, and that's myself included. So we'll shake hands, everyone will take themselves off, enjoy a break, and then some people will come back to the football club, some will find new challenges out there, but I think everyone is ready for that break, in truth, because as I said, it's, I spoke about my 3 months being challenging. The lads that have been here all season, that's more, and a few things that perhaps have happened during the season make it feel like a long one and difficult, but keep saying to them, this is a good job. Don't anyone be fooled by it. It is a job, but it's a good one that ends up initially being sort of a hobby and a pastime, and then it becomes work, and that's it's not easy. I think people see that. When we've got Ash running around the pitch and he's tired after 2 minutes kicking a ball into an empty goal, but we're going to get him on a fitness programme this season, and they due that rest.
What's it like as a manager during this time? Because I guess it could be quite stressful. You've got the people's futures in your hands, kind of thing. Yeah,
and I'm very respectful of that. I was fortunate in a lot of ways that there was only once that I got told that I wasn't getting a contract. Still hurt. You could almost, I guess, wasn't the biggest surprise in the world, but you're still hopeful that you might get something. And people have families, or people are, haven't done anything else in their lives, a lot of them, and it can create uncertainty. What I would say is, we are at League One level. There's lots of places that people can go. Some might go up, some might go higher in terms of club status in the same league. Some might have to drop down a couple of levels or a level. But it's about trying to find somewhere to play, be happy, and continue their careers. I think the majority of them, certainly that'll be the case. There might be one or two other lads that getting towards the end, they might have a decision to make about what they want to do with their futures.
There are quite a few of the first team regulars this season that will be out of contract. Are you expecting there to be a lot of changes heading into next season?
Yeah, if I'm honest, I think there will be. Like I said, some perhaps my decision and some taken out of our hands. So I do expect quite a different squad to report back towards the end of June when we're back in. And of course, there'll have to be a lot of hard work throughout the summer. With myself and Mickey in particular, and other people, contributing in terms of speaking to agents, putting footage together, providing options for us. So that's the job doesn't stop. You're kind of away from the training ground and the area at times, but for in the position that I'm in, I'm conscious that it isn't. It's a break. Don't get me wrong. You get your moments, but there's always sort of something nagging at you, or a call that comes in, a text message, whatever, an email, whatever it is, that you maybe have to get on with.
Yeah. What will your role be in recruitment? Because obviously, with having a director of football in Mickey Moore, how does that kind of define your role in recruitment?
Yeah, I think Mickey's said the sort of decision on players will be mine. But it will be working together to, again, there's that many agents out there now, and there will be a lot of players put to us, and there'll be players that we'll kind of search out to see if there are options. And I think I spoke before, there'll have to be an element of patience there, because not everyone's going to jump at the first offer they get, or some people might think they can do better. Trust me, there's a lot of sort of those players out there, or their agents certainly. Whereas other people want the future sorted instantly. And again, that sometimes comes down to the character of the person, or maybe who they're influenced by. So it is a patience thing, but yeah, between us, we're hoping that we can put a good squad together.
And the challenges of recruitment in League One, if you look at the teams going up from League Two and potential teams coming down from the Championship, it will be one of the smaller budgets. Does that just increase the difficulty?
In all honesty, yes. But I think we've got to try and look beyond the obvious at times. And ultimately, it's about trying to get the most out of people. And that's something that I believe I've done pretty well in, over my career as manager. I think there's a lot of players we've worked with that have perhaps, not looked like when we've signed him, maybe people haven't got excited or think, I'm not sure about him. And some probably have worked out that way, because I'm yet to meet anyone that's signed players, whether that's a manager, director of football, like coach, whatever, where they get everything right. But there's also been a lot that have moved on to better things or ended up playing their best football under myself and Chris. So they're the ones we're looking for. And all I would say, I guess, to the supporters is when we do sign someone, as always, give people a chance first and foremost. And then in the end, if we've got it wrong or it doesn't quite work out, then that will come back to me, of course. But I'm a believer in giving people opportunities and the way that we work and the way that we treat people. Hopefully we can get the best out of them.
Aside from taking lots of phone calls, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to have a little bit of a break?
Yeah, no, look, I've got a couple of holidays to go away with. One to see some friends with my wife, and then one as a family with my kids as well, and another family. So that really looking forward to them, because although the sun's shining today, we just spoke about, it's still cold and it's been quite wet and windy a lot of the times in that 3 months that we've been back. So I'm hoping that we'll see some better weather, and when we come back it might be a little bit warmer.